He's a household name in the amateur radio contesting community, having just been selected for the CQ Contest Hall of Fame, which is pretty prestigious. But he and a group of people have done a great job in turning the Port City Amateur Radio Club around in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And Mark's going to talk a little bit about some of the things that they did, and that's something that perhaps we could all learn from. So, Mark,
how do I advance?
Take it away.
How do I advance?
Page down.
Okay. All right.
And I'll tell you when there's about 10 minutes left.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, everybody. I've been in the hobby about 63 years, so I'm just getting started. And I'm learning something every day. My talk today is on leadership, club leadership, and I think from the previous presentation I heard that it's a bit of a challenge to find people who are willing to stand up and be president or hold any office for that matter. And I've recognized this long ago. But leading up to this conversation, a good friend of mine who unfortunately just passed away, Dave Farrington, W1DWF, was a professional in the area of organizational leadership development. He worked in the Massachusetts State Police, the prison system, in helping inmates, a whole different things. Worked with churches, all kinds of things related. At any rate, he brought his skill to our club, and I want to give him credit for that right up front. But he had the concept of Elmer's Village, where you'd have an Elmer's barn, where you'd keep equipment, where they could be loaned out. You'd have a library. You'd have other, typical things within the village that would support any new ham coming into the hobby. And that has done a lot for our club. We have an Elmer's barn. It's bulging with equipment. We can't find enough people to loan stuff out to. I mean, that's our ongoing challenge. So let me move on to the next thing here. It might be a bit of a eye chart, but the plan is, our sustainability plan kind of runs in two tracks. So the first one I'll talk about, going through a bylaws change right now, where the officers, president, vice president, on down, can have an internship program running. Basically, we're looking to kind of set the stage for the next officer to come into that role. It might be, it's not an elected position, it's just someone that in the audience that look like they might be interested in pursuing that element. So we've got that running. And we're now also changing our board of directors arrangement, where we have 4 in the executive committee. And the objective is to stagger the terms such that, say, the first and the third, if you number them 1 through 4, number 1 and number 3 would be in the odd year when the of that calendar year. They would be active, of course, as board members, and the other 2 who would not be in that group, they would be moving out the following election. So those 2 become the nominating committee. It's always a challenge to find just a few members to get together, and we need a nominating committee for the next set of, next election. So that's underway in our group. And like I say, we do this, what I call a senior-junior partnership. On every single aspect of the club, we encourage whoever has the lead, be it running the Elmer's Barn, be it running VE sessions, whatever it is, you try to develop a junior person. And that kind of creates that, ongoing flow of people. The next approach we take in the program is what I call lightning rounds. As we've all known for a long time, this one hobby has actually 50 hobbies within it. I mean, there are so many things you can do in this hobby. It's incredible. And what occurred to us in our club is that we've got so many interests. We're a general club. We've got a repeater, we do contests, we do field day, all the standard things. But what we needed was some ability to put some focus on all the different things one can do. So we created this concept of lightning rounds, and within that, the opportunity is to find somebody in the club who's got a particular passion, like, gee, I love FT8. I can do anything in FT8. I can set it up. I know everything. I love it. Or I'm a weak signal DXer. I love tuning around on the low bands and working the weakest guy I can find, and turned out he's on the other side of the world, and I'm working him with 50 watts and a piece of wire. You know, those kinds of fun challenges. I love contesting. I love the flow of adrenaline pulsing through my body when I'm going at 150 contacts per hour. Things like that. I love the whole networking possibilities within contesting. But at any rate, you get the point, is there's so many different things. VHF, moon bounce, satellites, you know, this list that appears next is really just a real smattering. You got POTA, you got these mesh networks. There's a lot of interest in that. Fox hunting, award hunting. People just love to decorate their walls with, you know, plaques and awards for various things. You know, there's all kinds of software platforms that people can get into and figure out what's the best for them, but they learn a lot and they've got a lot to share. So what I've encouraged in this whole series of what I call lightning rounds is for every meeting we have, we might have 2, 3, 4, depending on, you know, how long the main speaker, you know, it might be a technical topic or it might be something unique. Depending on how long the main topic runs, we'll have a series of lightning rounds, and it might be, like I said, 3, 4 possible people. Now, what I do is I find people in the group that have a particular passion. You know, I know that they love, you know, VHF and, you know, working meteor scatter or whatever. I give them an opportunity to stand in front of the entire group with maybe 2, maybe 3 slides, and it's all melded into the regular PowerPoint thing that we do, because I'm an you know, advocate for efficiency. So when these things take place, I want it to roll from one to the next without the usual hold it, we got to stop, we got to reboot, you know. Oh, and we're also running Zoom, so that adds another layer of something can go sideways. So at any rate, I get these things all lined up within the main presentation, and I'll have them have a slide that basically introduces themselves. It might be their contact info, it might be their email, their phone number, their call. You know, what is their passion? Might be QRP, might be POTA, fox hunting. You know, I love playing around with antennas. I love to test antennas. You know, whatever that main topic or main passion is, that's identified in that first slide. Then the next 1 or 2 slides might be a little bit of a drill down into that topic. You know, what is the thing that's really driving this person crazy about this particular passion? So it gives him an opportunity to be passionate, as he is, in front of a group, makes him very, you know, hopefully conveys that energy to the group, and can hopefully develop maybe 3 or 4 other people in the audience that said, you know, that's interesting to me. I think I'd like to try that. Okay, now you know who to talk to. So when there's a break at the club meeting, you go find that person, you go chat with them, and you line up your next step like, hey, yeah, let's get together for coffee and let's, you know, do a little deeper dive on that because I really am interested in that, or POTA. And there's a lot of activity there. I've got a vice president that's just gone gung-ho in this stuff, and he's gathering a little affinity group, basically, I'll call it, that will, you know, put some focus on that. And every other month, he's doing a lightning round on POTA. It might be his experience where he took one antenna out, or he had 2 antennas in the field, and he did a lot of A/B comparisons. A lot of times people go out in the field in a park or whatever, they got their one antenna, they don't know how really effective that thing is. So you need, you know, a little more knowledge. So he's really jumped onto that bandwagon. So things like that. So that's kind of the theme that we're driving in our club. Every month we have multiple lightning rounds, and we'll have repeats. Maybe every 2 or 3 months same guy might come up, or somebody within his newly formed group will come up. Now, my secret motivation in all of this is really the whole question of sustainability. I need people in the audience to participate much more than they have in the past. It's always been, I'm coming to a radio club meeting, I want to be entertained. I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. When it's over, I'm going to go home. Or if it looks like a logical break moment in the club meeting, I'm going to go home. You know, no contribution. Maybe they'll talk to a couple people, but they're gone. And what I'm trying to do through this is to get people to get out of their chairs and in particular share their passion. Because once you get them engaged on a passion element, you know, you can't stop them, and it's fantastic. So that develops a whole list of possible candidates. So when it comes up to be, you know, the elections, president, vice president, whatever, the leadership at that moment has already kind of an interesting view of the audience. Said, you know, geez, I noticed, you know, Bob is very passionate on this. He did a lightning round. He was very excellent in the way he was organized. He might be a good candidate for treasurer, or, you know, let me talk to him one-on-one and develop a relationship in that sense. So that seems to be working. We always seem to have a large number of people saying, yep, I'll run for president or I'll run for vice president, you know, as opposed to the standard, you know, crickets, nothing. Nobody's interested in running for anything. So that's one of a couple of things that we're doing in our club. You know, again, overarching bit on the adrenaline. We talked about that a little bit. I'll leave you with this one thought, and something that occurred to me not too long ago. I'll call it the soul of the hobby. And I kind of capsulize it with what I call the 4 C's. It's connectivity. Yep. The connectivity. You know, basically, you know, our network, we get on the air, we talk to people. Could be your connection point with somebody might be in Russia or England or God knows wherever. That's part of your network. The control element. You know, the amazing thing about this hobby is you absolutely control every single aspect. You're not dependent on a cell phone tower. You're not dependent on a manufacturer who made your cell phone. You have the ability to do virtually everything and control everything. So that's a great thing. The curiosity that comes, the natural curiosity that occurs when you start talking to people in a like environment, be it the hobby, understand what they're using for equipment, what their challenges are, you know, their living conditions, you know, all that natural curiosity comes. That's a really key element of this hobby. And then finally, I put in the creativity. This really kind of comes from my contesting experience. You start off with, and we all start off the same in contesting. You start off with a low power setup and a simple antenna, and you get a little taste of it, a little bit of adrenaline flow. Yeah, I worked 50 states over the weekend. Holy cow, unbelievable. In this one weekend, I did that, or whatever it might be. But as you go along in that aspect, you start to realize that incrementally I can improve my situation. So you start being a little more creative. You start doing a little studying in terms of what are other people doing. I want to converse through my network and see what other people are doing for antennas. I mean, why is that guy so loud? And I know he lives on a postage-sized lot. You know, what's his unique thing? But it's all that creativity and the curiosity. Yeah, it could be high power. It could be that 10 kilowatt amp that everybody talks about.
I said a Momo beam.
A Momo beam, sure. Stacked, by the way. So yeah, that's kind of how I address that. Hope that ran long enough. Covers all the points. Any questions? Any early? Okay. Do we have any questions?
Is it true that this forum is going to be videotaped so that a person can see it later? I came very late.
The answer is it's being taped. Jim right here is our videographer.
Hi, Jim.
And if you sign in, I'll give you a raffle ticket for the 5 o'clock raffle and email you instructions on how to get the videotape.
And to pick up your prize.
This is the only reason that I came to appear to the exposition is for the forums, and specifically how to create or to help run a successful club.
Very good.
Yeah.
It seems to be going well. Our club, we've got about 120 members. We've been around for 75 years. We actually have, for those that remember the Thresher submarine that went off the coast of New Hampshire, we had a couple of members of our club that went down with that ship, unfortunately. So a long history around the Portsmouth area, the shipyard, etc. Got a lot of great talent in the club, and I'm just leveraging wherever I can. What's that?
at the base at Portsmouth and lived later on Beach.
Oh, excellent.
So I know.
Okay.
You have the albacore up there too.
Yeah, we take care of the albacore. We rebuilt the whole radio room, and for the tourists that walk by. And
Worked with ones like 20.
yep, yeah, we're active in the museum ships program. Yep.
So Mark, you didn't talk at all about things like term limits. Do you
Well,
have
we do have term limits in our club. Our officers are, it's up to 2 years. And board members are the same, but we're staggering that so that we always have 2 outgoing board members who are going to become available for the nominating committee. We're just getting that cycle set up,
Okay.
But yes. Yeah, it's not open-ended, although we've had a treasurer for life. We finally found somebody who was willing to take that position, and it's worked out fine. Yes.
Mark, how did you figure out, for these lightning rounds, how did you figure out from your club who had what kind of interest? Did you do that through like a survey? Was it organically you learned that?
I would say kind of an organic routine. I got to know a lot of the members, and I've talked to them, and I asked them, what really gets you excited about this hobby? And once they say, then I said, okay, I got the hook set, and now we'll rope you in. And then I'll look every month when I set the schedule for the, who's talking and what's happening for the coming meeting. I'll go through my list. I'll reach out to them individually, said, hey, all I want is like 1 or 2 slides. Send them to me a week in advance. And when your time comes, hop up there, talk in front of the group, share your passion. That's all I care. Make it simple, fast. And I get a lot of positive response to that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yes.
I apologize. I missed the first part of what you were describing, how you are able to reach out for speakers, people to show and share interesting parts about what they do in ham radio. Are these members of your club, or these are hams that you are familiar with just in the community?
A little of both.
A little of both. Okay, that's what I was
But primarily for these lightning rounds, I look to the membership. We have a lot of talent sitting in the room, and I want to take advantage of that. And I want to make sure everybody gets a shot at standing in front of the group and sharing that passion. Maybe not everybody's into weak signal DXing or meteor scatter or, working a contest for 24 hours and making 5,000 QSOs. That doesn't appeal to everybody. We get that. And we're a general club. So it's like, how is the best way to organize a general club when you've got so many individual interests? And this is probably the best way that we came up with a series of lightning rounds every month, bing, boom, boom, 3, 4 hot topics, and then go to a main presenter. Now, the main presenter might come from outside the club. We actively kind of look around and see what else is available for presentations.
And the lightning rounds, the people that do these stand up and do a brief talk on what they do, is it everybody that's there at the club, or it's just certain people that you have reached out to or that have reached out to you?
It's certain people that I've reached out to that I learned that they have a passion. Yeah. My goal is that person will then come up, do a presentation, and we discover, there's like 4 or 5 other people in this audience that have the same interest. Your little group organize, and maybe you can grow something from that. Yes?
With all due respect, I'm a ham myself, but ham radio is not a club. It's an obsession.
She calls.
I call it an obsession because it is.
I'm sorry.
Obsession.
Obsession.
That's her.
Not a hobby.
Yeah,
it's
speak
an
to my
obsession.
wife about that. Yeah.
It all depends how active, what you put in, what you get out.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been
We were charter members of our club. We used to have a speaker at first. We had Saturn. I spoke once about my years, and we had the person who was on the shuttle when it crashed in Texas and the recovery there. So there are always aspects of things, like you said, different interests, FT8 or slow scan or something, antennas.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a cool hobby when you think about it. There's just so many things. And quite honestly, I started when I was 12 years old. I got my extra class license when I was a senior in high school. I took advantage of the school's program that had independent study, and I convinced my teachers, yeah, getting my extra class license would be a great thing for my high school experience. Of course, the kicker there was my electronics or my science class teacher said, well, when we get to the electronics, you're going to be teaching it. So, fine. Unfortunately, my fellow classmates didn't really appreciate my enthusiasm to have a daily quiz on everything I taught. Yeah, that kind of drove them nuts, but that was fun. But I tell you, this hobby gets you into stuff you never even thought of, you know? Just incredible. It's fantastic. I'm still enthusiastic, age 12 and now 75. Yeah, okay. Anything else?
Any other questions?
I'll talk to you afterwards if that's okay.
I'm at
I don't want to repeat.
I'm at the Momo Beam booth in the vendor area. If you know, we sell antennas and
I just arrived, so I don't know.
Momo Beam. It's an Italian Yagi manufacturer, and also represent Mastrant, the guys that do the strong ropes and
So
stuff.
where is that?
Across the hall here, across the hall this way, in the vendor,
I just arrived, I just landed. In the vendor's hall.
in the vendor area.
Well, no, I landed in the flea market and I was...
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.